So we'll wrap up with going back to Ohio State, but it's Chase Young. So going into a very crucial year for him, what do you hear about him and what would your expectations be for him?
Yeah. I heard that knee injury was a lot more serious than people realize.
That patellar tendon was a big deal.
Yeah. I heard I think a lot of people looked at it as a typical ACL and why isn't he coming back? Like I heard it was like in November and December, like it was not pretty the way he was. Like, when they put him back out there on the practice field, there were a lot of people that were and I think like that's, I mean, really like legitimately, that's the biggest question now, And so that's why if I'm another team and I'm looking for I was looking for a pass rusher during the draft, I would have called Washington and seen what they might be willing to do there. So, look, like you saw what I did in 2019, and you know what he can be, and you saw what he was in 2020. I think this really does boil down to health and whether or not that knee, if this is the sort of problem like Jadeveon and Clowney had, and I don't know how many of your listeners remember this, but Jadeveon and Clowney hurt his knee in his first game as a pro, had microfracture surgery, still wound up being a really good player, but that guy that we thought he was going to be at South Carolina, I think the knee injury kept him from ever becoming that guy. And so that's the question to me with Chase Young now is he past it or is he not past it? And I think if he's not past it, you hope he can get to, again, that Clowney level where he can be a tough, hard guy to deal with, but maybe not the havoc wreaker that you thought he was going to be. And maybe he's an 8, 9, 10 sack guy. If he's fully healthy, the sky's the limit. Both you and I know that.
Right. And he can change games with how he plays. And you're right. You started hearing in the fall, it's the patellar tendon really complicated his recovery. Yeah. Because that really made it a difficult one to get back from.
And I think honestly, I think Clowney is the best example because Clowney really had to kind of reinvent himself as a player because of the injury that he had. Right. And, it's funny because you rarely see a career-ending injury, a true career-ending injury anymore. So we all think these guys always bounce back from everything. And there are injuries that they may not end a guy's career, but they do affect the way that he plays for the rest of his career. And so I just hope that this isn't one of those for Chase.